Yeah, what up? Blue Falcon here. So apparently, the Oscars came out on Sunday the 27th. I didn't watch it, and apparently nobody watches it no more. But it got some hype because Will Smith smacks Chris Rock. So let's just check this out. All right. So before I even continue, I'm sorry in advance that it's not the best quality. Apparently, there's some videos out there that doesn't have the full audio because some of the audio is cut off because of some things that Will ended up saying. So let's actually check out this one. This is apparently the full audio.
Will Smith just smacked the shit out of him.
Will Smith me acaba de cachetear.
Take my name out your fucking mouth.
No vuelvo a...
Cierra la bocota.
Yeah.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my white
Era una broma.
name out your
No vuelvas a decir el nombre de mi esposa tu bocota.
No lo vuelvo a hacer.
Okay.
Está bien.
That was
Eso fue...
greatest night in the history of television.
Es un...
Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay, so this is actually a very multifaceted topic right now, and I'm gonna tell you why, right? So apparently the kickback that Will is receiving because of this, I think, is more circumstantial than what this actual event is showing. So if anybody knew about the Red Table Talk, I think it's called, from Jada Pinkett's show. So she calls Will, and we all know, Will finds out on national television the same day as us all that Jada, his wife, has been sleeping with some young artist or whatever the case is. And it takes him by surprise, and he ends up crying, and then you have all these Will Smith crying emojis and all this stuff, right? So there's a lot of like this Will Smith, I guess, emasculation post that's being propagated on the media right now. So I think the backlash that Will Smith is receiving because of this is not because of this per se, but rather the overall context. Like, he's choosing to defend Jada, right? Which I believe a husband should do. But of all people, why Jada? Why Jada? Was Jada here to protect you when she slept with the other man? Right. So she stepped out on marriage and committed adultery, and you know what I'm saying? Now the whole world has you as a crying meme. Where was her protection of you? And now she's trying to, I don't know, because this is the crazy thing, right? You have to watch many different videos, and that's why I apologize in advance. It wasn't the full clip, but apparently what happened is, Chris Rock makes this G.I. Jane joke, which Will was laughing in the beginning. he was laughing in the beginning, and people speculate, even though the camera doesn't really show it, but people speculate that he looked over and saw his wife, because her wife was, Jada was pissed off at the joke from the jump. And people believe that because he's a soft, emasculated man, he pretty much was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be laughing, and so let me go up there and smack Chris Rock. Now, I'm going to just say this, right? This is a very multifaceted topic, because I don't think it's as simple as what people is making it out to be. If you look at it from the standpoint of, Will Smith is, protecting the wrong one, which I think he is. I think he should have just been left the girl. But you got to understand, we're not in his shoes. He makes millions of dollars. If he was to leave this woman, she's taking half all the hard work he put in will be for what? You know what I'm saying? So people, I hear people is talking about, you know, he should have divorced her and all this stuff. But at this point, you know, what should he really do? Really, you know, again, I think he should have just left. That's the best thing he probably could have done. But he definitely couldn't harm Jada, nor the guy that Jada was sleeping with, because if he had done that, you know, everybody's gonna tie it back to Will, right? So Will's hands are tied. But Chris Rock, on the other hand, you know, you try to humiliate his wife in, you know, in public, so he's gonna shame you in public. And let's get this point out there. This is not Chris Rock's first time doing this. I'll give you a perfect example. All right, check this out.
Head on during his opening monologue at the Oscars, delivering jokes that were both hilarious and poignant, like this one, where he called out Jada Pinkett Smith for boycotting the show.
Is she on a TV show? Jada boycotting the Oscars is like me boycotting Rihanna's panties. I wasn't invited. Jada's mad her man, Will, was...
Alright, so I'll leave it as that. No need to go any further. But you see, Chris Rock has notoriously always taken jabs at Will's wife, right? And and believe me, I understand all the points. You know, he's a comedian. That's what comedians do, right? That's what they're known to do. But I say this, you know, in an isolated, you know, scope, I don't think what Will did was necessarily wrong in terms of defending his woman, right? Or rather, I should say, I don't think it's wrong for a man, not Will. I don't think it's wrong for a man to defend his woman. Now, if Chris Rock had the balls or the chutzpah to actually call out Jada Pinkett or make any joke on an audience member, then have the chutzpah and the balls to take that smack. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I see a lot of people talking about Will and how soft he is, and no one's talking about Chris Rock. I mean, this dude's eyes is glossy after he got smacked. After he got smacked, you could tell he wants to cry. And he didn't fight back. He didn't do anything. The police apparently asked him, you know, which I respect, you know, because I don't want to see anybody go to prison for a joke. But he ends up, you know, given the opportunity by the police to press charges. He doesn't press charges. So, I mean, so what did Chris Rock do in this whole situation? Zero, right? Nada. He didn't do a damn thing. And I think that's soft. Now, the reason why I say I don't necessarily see a man doing this as a bad thing, and I changed it from, you know, I didn't necessarily think it's good for Will to do it, because again, I think Will is defending the wrong chick. Like, out of all people to defend, why defend the woman that stepped out on her marriage and blasted you on national television, no less, right? But I'll watch one more video, right? Because a lot of people are calling Will Smith soft, or he would have never done this had it not been for him looking over at Jada. And that couldn't be any further from the case. You know, like, people, I think, have a perception of where Will Smith grew up from, or how he grew up, because, or how he is now that he's made it, has millions of dollars, and he's a celebrity. No. He grew up in the hood, just like a lot of, you know, minority groups out there. And this dude, by no stretch of the imagination, is someone that just allows people to do whatever the hell they want. I'll give you a perfect example, right? Check this one out.
The only intelligent creatures in the universe, especially since we're not... Oh my God, a dream. There you go. There you go. Oh man, what the hell is your problem, buddy?
So that's my point exactly, right? So clearly you can see that Will Smith has never been the one. I mean, he has a track record of smacking people, right? So it's not, he wasn't emboldened. Jada is not in that video, right? He's a kind of man that if you disrespect him or he feels disrespected, you finna get smacked. That is just that simple. You're about to get smacked. So he just make sure you don't cross Will the wrong way. Now I will say this, right, because I was listening to some people out there. If I had to grade what Will did, I would have given him a C. Again, I'm taking it in an isolated moment. I'm not trying to even bring up the red table talk, even though I think that's the reason why ultimately he failed in the grand scheme of things. He failed because he's defending the wrong one. In this isolated moment, though, like what actually happened in Oscars, if you disrespect a man's wife, then just be prepared for the consequences, right? I don't care if you're a comedian or not, right? This is why comedians, this is why you need to stick to the script, right? You know, if you don't have nothing funny to say, don't scan the audience, right? You scan in the audience and see who you could make fun of. Like, dude, stick to your script. You get what I'm saying? Like, comedians been doing that, and you know, me personally, people could say, oh, you know, he's soft. Comedians been doing that for years. Yeah, and it was tasteless back then too. Just stick to your script. If you were really genuinely funny, you wouldn't have to put other people down just to prop yourself up, right? But that's not a here nor there. If Will Smith, you know, had it not been for the red table talk, I would have given him a C. I don't think smacking him was the best decision, in particular because of the stage he was at. He was in the highest moment of his life, right? He finally won the Oscars, and he's at this venue, and now it just makes all black people look bad. It makes us all look bad because, you know, we finally got something, and here we are. We just looking like a bunch of niggas. You know what I'm saying? That's all we look like. Just a bunch of hoodlums. We bringing violence into this venue, and you know, it is just crazy. It's just it's a sad day for the black community. I'll say that, but I don't necessarily think it's an ultimate fail in this isolated situation, because a man should defend his wife. I mean, he chose to stay with Jada, so he's choosing to continue to be a provider. He's choosing to continue to protect, so he better do his job, right? But in the grand scheme of things, right, like if it was up to knowing the context of the situation, Will, you defending the wrong one, bruh. You defending the wrong one, bruh. Like, she's not the one to be smacking dudes over. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, to call her G.I. Jane, she is a very masculine chick. She's very masculine. And let me throw this in there, right? The G.I. Jane joke was very tasteless, considering the fact that she has alopecia, right? She has this hair loss condition. I'm not insensitive to that. But when she stepped out on the relationship and cheated on Will, and she tried to operate in a very masculine state, then at that point, as a man, I'm done with you. I'm done with you. You have no place. Don't ask me to provide. You see, this is why, again, Will should have just divorced her, and then he could have done this for another woman, and he probably would have had none of this backlash. And if he did, maybe not to the same degree. But everybody is going to always remember the red table talk. And they're always going to ignorantly say, oh, how come you didn't smack the dude that slept with your wife, right? There's just so many angles to this, man. But anyway, I would like to know what you guys think about the situation. Please, I would like to know. Write your comments down below. Do you think Will was right? Do you think he was wrong in the situation? Do you think Chris was right? Do you think he handled it wrong? Do you think the joke was tasteless? I would like to hear your comments, all right? But with that being said, Blue Falcon over and out. Please, you guys, subscribe, like, drop a comment, and share with your friends, all right? Later.